Hey guys, welcome to Selenium with Java January 2023 batch online training session 3. So from this session onward I will start the Java. So total 4 session will be there for basic and advanced Java. In today's session we will start with the basic one. Like you can get to know the what is Java all about, what are the commands, data type, variable, operator in Java, what is object and classes, what are the Java strings and how what are the different methods available to operate with the string, what is array, what is for, while and do while loop in Java, and how we can control this three loop with the help of break and continue keyword in Java. So as of now you already installed Java, most of you. In case you are having some problem, definitely I will be helping you there to do the installation and other stuff. So here to start with Java, Selenium WebDriver is not required. So the Java configuration will be fine, so that all the relevant classes, interfaces and the method you can work in the Java. So Java is a programming language. So initially, like whenever in the market, right, some sort of programming language, C, C++, then other language came. Similarly, Java also one of the important programming language, still demand very much popular in the market. So Java programming language was developed by Sun Microsystem in 1995. Now it is subsidiary of Oracle Corporation. That is the reason, right? Whenever you want to install Java, you have to go to the Oracle site and you need to right sign up, and then you can install the Java. So now I think 1.18% is available. So any person you can install, that not be a problem. 1.8 onward it will work. So Java is having some of the important features. That is the reason still it is very popular in the market. So first one is simple. So Java is very simple and easy to learn, and its syntax are also very simple, clean and easy to understand. According to Sun, whenever it was developed, they said Java language is very simple programming language, and like most of the even non-technical person, they can still learn Java with minimal effort. Then object oriented. So Java is object oriented programming language. Everything in Java will act as an object. Object oriented means user can organize their software as a combination of different type of object that incorporates both data and the behavior. So you will be learning slowly how this concept, right, impact very impactful in Java. Whenever we are talking about the object oriented, so this is called OPS, object oriented programming structure. So there are four key pillars of the OPS concept. So before that you need to understand the object and classes. So slowly you will be learning that. Apart from that, four important key pillars of Java Ops concept is inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. And Java is portable because it facilitates user to carry the Java bytecode to any platform. It does not require any implementation. So platform means, suppose say today you are working in the Mac, tomorrow you can work in the Windows and Linux. So it does not matter which platform you are working. So any platform the same code might work. So Java is also secured. So that is the reason user can easily develop virus-free system with the help of the Java. Platform independence. Java is platform independent because it is different from other programming language like C, C++, etc., which are compiled into specific platform machines, while Java is you will be writing once and you can run anywhere. Means like you can run in Mac, you can run in Linux, you can run in Windows. It does not have any problem. So once you write the code, you can move the code to any of the operating system, you can run it. A platform is nothing but the hardware or the software environment in which program actually run. Then architectural neutral. So Java compiler generates an architecture neutral object file format which makes the compiled code executable on many processors with the presence of Java runtime system or JRE. High performance. Java is comparatively good performance in terms of other language. Multi-threaded. So before going to the multi-threaded, that will be covered in the last session of the Java as part of the advanced. So what is multi-threaded? Suppose say there are, suppose you are the persons and I have given you like 20 sweets to eat. But the problem might happen, right? You can eat 10 sweets in a day. So you have to, if you want to eat 20 sweets, it will require 2 days. But instead of 1%, if I assign 5%, right, they can eat 20 sweets easily. So multi-threaded means like multiple processor will work simultaneously to finish the work. Robust is nothing which is means strong. So why Java is robust? Because in Java there is a automatic garbage collection process which runs on the JVM or the Java virtual machine, right? So what happen once your execution is over, right? So there will be so many threads, so many processors will be working. But in case your execution is working, and in case they are not, I mean, they are not destroying, right? So they will occupy some memory in the system. So we have to destroy them once our execution is done. So that is called, all the clearing the garbage. So in the Java, automatically the automatic garbage collection process is available, through which, right, if whatever is not required, they will be getting destroyed, and then memory can be freed up. And also, as part of robust, there are exception handling mechanism is also available. So automatically any kind of exception is coming, right, with the help of different kind of block like try, catch, finally you can handle the unexpected event of the exception. The interpreted like Java bytecode is translated on the fly to any native machine's instruction, and it is not stored anywhere. The development process is more rapid and analytical since the linking is an incremental and lightweight process. So these are the following, because of the these important key features. Java is very demanding in the market. Nowadays a lot of computer programming language came like CS or C Sharp, JavaScript, Python, but still like Java is used as a development perspective, and definitely in case you want to work with Selenium, so still Java will be very important. I mean, still more than 50% project, right, still they use Selenium with Java. So this is the Java internal architecture. So first it will come Java virtual machine, then JRE, and then JVM. So once you downloaded the Java, right, you already seen few of the important things here. Suppose if you go to the program files and whatever Java you downloaded, right, you could here able to see the JDK 19 or 11, whatever version is available. If you open it, JDK, then in the bin, right, there will be so many files will be available. Okay, in the JRE file, lib file. Okay, so the first one is JVM or Java virtual machine. So this is actually logical one, but physical this is not existing. So it is called abstract machine. It is called virtual machine because it does not physically exist. It is a specification that provides a runtime environment in which Java bytecode can be executed. It can also run those programs which are written in other language and compile to the Java bytecode. Because whatever you are writing, right, how the machine, how the that particular compiler they will understand. So the code need to be translated to the relevant bytecode so that that bytecode will be interacting with the relevant operating system. Okay, so at the first Java code, with the help of the compiler, it will be translated to the Java bytecode. Okay, so it can also run those programs which are written in other language and compile to the Java bytecode. At compile time, Java file is compiled by the Java compiler and convert the Java code into the bytecode. But the JVM does not exist in the real time. Then next will come is JRE or Java runtime environment, which will give you the real time environment to execute all your Java code. So it is a combination of JVM and combination of set of libraries file. So JRE or the Java runtime environment is set of software tool which are used for developing Java application. It is used to provide the runtime environment. It is the implementation of JVM. It physically exists. Just like JVM, it does not exist, but JRE is in the real time it is exist. It contains set of libraries and other file that JVM uses at the runtime. So now we already developed the JVM part, right? So JRE. So JRE is nothing but the combination of JVM where Java code is getting compiled and translated to the bytecode, and here a lot of other files libraries will be there which will help, right, to as a working environment. Then last one is JDK, which is also existing, right, JDK. that is the version you are using. So JDK is nothing but the Java development kit. So it is software development environment which is used to develop Java application and applet. It physically exists. It contains JRE but lot of development tools. Okay, so here lot of development tools like Java, right? Suppose in case you are writing some program in the notepad, then also you can run with the help of the command prompt. So how this notepad Java will understand? So with the help of this particular architecture, right, your normal code can be translated to the Java bytecode. Then with the help of the like JRE, other library file, Java development kit, it will be work as a particular working application of the software of the environment. Then it will work in the real time. So importance of Java in Selenium WebDriver. So as of now you already learned few of the important concept of Selenium WebDriver, but still why Java is more Selenium WebDriver is more feasible with Java. So Selenium written in Java as well. So hence Java is more compatible with the Selenium. But for Selenium you can use other language as well, like C#, then JavaScript, Python, Ruby, etc. So good support for Selenium with Java, because more than 50% organization, right, project are using Selenium with Java in case they are using Selenium. So anyone can get more help for the documentation and the code implementation from the internet as well. Most of the Selenium testers are using Java, so knowledge sharing, clarification, resolution, doubt clearing, everything will be very, very easy. Java is platform independent language, so anyone can use Java in any of the operating system. It can be Linux, Windows or Mac as well. Then couple of syntax rule you already learned, right, as of now, though I did not cover the Java topics. So Java is case sensitive language, means uppercase, lowercase will be different here. So in case you are writing capital C, but in case you are writing small c, right, it will be different. So whenever you are creating the class, it should be starting with the uppercase. Method name should be start with the lowercase. In case you are writing an interface, it should be uppercase. Package name should be in lowercase, right? So you already learned this thing. So class name starting with uppercase, package name lowercase, class name uppercase. So that are the different thing. Constant name, in case you are declaring some constant, it will be uppercase. Java program file name should exactly match with the class name. In case you are manually writing a file like notepad, everything, then it should be same name as the class name, and extension will be .java. Java program execution will start from the main method, which is the mandatory in every Java program. In case you want to create the Java class, then automatically you need to select the main method, otherwise your execution will not run. Every statement should end with semicolon. So you already learned, right? So every statement will end with semicolon here. And code blocks enclosed with that double bracket, right? This is the bracket you need to enclose to it whenever you are starting and ending. So that are the different syntax you need to remember while working in the Java. Then how we can create the sample Java program in the Eclipse, you already learned, right? So let's create one more class here. So right click on the package, new class, session 3. Then you are selecting the public static void main, right? That is the method which is called main method in Java. Then automatically something is coming, you no need to worry about that. Then here you can just for printing something, you can press SO and then control spacebar. So automatically that method will come. Suppose say I can want to print out something in the console called hello Java. Now if you run your program, it will print the string whatever is right in the double quote hello Java. But now the questions will come, you are using main method, but what is the importance of each and every right keyword for the main method? The first one is the public, which is nothing but the access modifier. What does it mean by access modifier? Means it will be accessible across everywhere, right? Public for the particular class. There are 3 access modifiers, 4: public, private, protected and default. So then static, which is nothing but the non-access modifier. So static and then final, these are called non-access modifier, through which you can understand what is the method type, right? Then slowly you can learn the importance of each and everything. Void means return type. So here void means not, it will return nothing, the program itself will return nothing, and main is the method name, a string is the kind of one string, and this is the called argument. Then system out dot println. So what is the importance of each and every aspect here? System is nothing but the predefined class in Java, right? And then out is an instance of print stream type, which is public and static member field of the system class. Then println is the method name, and this is the message you want to print in the console. So that way these two methods is very very important, because without the main method you cannot write something, your code will not work. And in case you want to print something in the console, system out dot println. System is the predefined class, out is one of the important, right, instance, and then print is ln is the method name for printing, and then hello Java is the message you want to print in the console. Then you see in the last two sessions, right, how to comment out. Suppose say in case you want to comment out, right, we were seeing that source and then add block comment, right. So let's create few more lines here and see how we can comment out. Okay, so this is the so many lines. So if you select all the lines and then go to the source and add block comment, everything will be commented. And if you again select and again go here source, remove block comment, so it will be commented out, right. But in case you want to, definitely you not going here and you need to just comment out single line, so you can give double slash single line comment. So it will be there in the code, but it will not, right, readable in the code, it will not work anything. And then in case suppose say this three line you want to comment it out, so what you can do, you can start with slash and then star, and the end you can give star and slash, so that way you can comment multiple lines. Okay, now if you run, so remaining line whatever is not commented will be executed, means out of 7 lines 3 lines is having the impactance, the remaining 4 lines is commented by single line or multiple line commenting. So why comment is required? Suppose say in case you are writing 1000 line of code and you are writing couple of methods, couple of important things, but you cannot keep those English grammar English part right in the code, because code will not understand. Suppose say in case you want to let some kind of manual thing, right, use before that method you want to demonstrate the method, but you cannot write in the code, so you can comment it and you can write the objective of the method, objective of the line, so that the person who are new to that project, right, who are analyzing your code for fixing anything, so they can easily get the idea, right, what these lines of comment is having the importance, so that they can understand it, and after that they can proceed, right, and then you can fix it. Okay, so comment can be used to explain Java code and to make it more readable. Comments are English word used for code documentation. Java supports single line and multiple line comment. Comments in Java make the code more readable. It also make the code disable from execution. Single line comment you can give double slash, and multiple line comment you can start with slash star and you can end with star slash. So that is the way you can comment out the code. Okay, because in the real time also commenting also required. Suppose in case you are having 20 lines of code but 10 line is not required, so you can make the comment, and once it is required you can again disable the comment, right. So that is the way you can just give the comment and you can disable it, add block comment, remove block comment, in case you want to do it from Eclipse. Otherwise that is the syntax, double slash for single line, and right, slash star, and at the end star slash is the for multiple line. The next one is data type. So in the couple of first session you already seen, right, we are storing something in the double then string, right. So what are those? Those are called data type in Java. So data type is nothing but the classification of the data, right, classification of the type of the data that a variable or the object will hold in the programming, computer programming. So Java support primarily two categories of data type. One is primitive, one is non-primitive. Primitive means it has some primitive value, and non-primitive means the reference data type, right. So which can be object, class, string, array, interface. So in the primitive, we can categorize into four ways. One is the integer, where byte, short, integer and the long will come, and then relationals where decimal part will come, right? So float and double, and character is my means A to Z single character, and booleans is it will contain only true or false. So byte, you can see here I have given that every bit, right? What is the length of the byte? It's 8 bits, means 2 to the power 8 is the total length, means 2 to the power 8 means 256 character length it will have. So it will start from minus 128, then 0 and then plus 127. So that is the value of the byte. Short is 2 to the power 16, so that way minus 0 until plus. Integer is 2 to the power 32, long is 2 to the power 62. Float will contain the decimal part. Double also big value 64 bits. Character only 16 bit, it will contain only A to Z, only one within the single quote. Boolean will only contain true or false, no other value it can contain. And non-primitive, remaining thing is non-primitive in Java, like already mentioned, object, class, string, everything. So let's see how we can write, deal with the data type, how we can create some variable and how we can assign the value, then how we can call those value. So suppose say I want to interact with the byte, right? So let's try something b equal to 20. Okay, so you could see byte. So you could see the color is getting changed to byte. Once you type byte, color is getting changed. Means these are the reserved keyword in Java. Byte, all these keyword, right? Long, float, right? Double, character, boolean, string. These are the reserved keyword. Array, for, while, do while, try, catch. Everything is reserved keyword. So we cannot create variable with this keyword. It will throw the error. So this is called data type, and this is called variable, and this is called value, right? So now if you want to print out that one, so you can just simply go here and you can print it, because it's a variable. So variable you no need to give in a double quote. Try to understand, guys. So variable, as and when declared the variable with the data type, you no need to give in double quote, because the variable already that code know what is the data type for that one. Now if you just try to run it, it will print the value. So byte is 2 to the power 8 digit, right? Means 156 minus 128 to 0 and 127. If you give more than that value, so it cannot take, byte will not take. You could see error message is coming. Why the error message is coming? You could see type mismatch, cannot convert from integer to byte. So you have to give something called integer. Otherwise the below value will work fine. Suppose say 127, right? If you give 125, it will still work. Now let's try to create same data type and same variable but give the different value. Suppose say 100. So will it work in Java? No. In the same class, your variable should be unique always. Duplicate variable name cannot allow. Duplicate data type can be there, but variable name you cannot do it. You could see the error message coming. Duplicate local variable. So here, if you change it to integer, it will still not work, because the variable name should be unique. Now if you give it to b1, it will work. Now you can print out the b1, right? Then say I want to go with something called float, so I can declare float or double. So double or float will be come as a decimal format. They have some format. If you give d, and suppose say if you are not giving any decimal, but still it will consider as a decimal. So if you want to now want to print d, so what will happen? Will it print 300? So these are the kind of integer. So it will only print the integer format. Means there is no decimal. But in case you are going here the relational type, so automatically you are not giving anything, right? Still it will be, right? I mean displaying in the decimal format. So that is the way, right? You could see here it is coming as 300.0. because the type is relational type, decimal of the float, sorry, double of the float, right? Decimal, one decimal point will be coming automatically, though you have defined 300. But for the integer related part, so only you could see there is no decimal part. Now you can define something called char. See, it will be within the single quote, any value A to Z, right? Then you can print it out. Then you can give other one, right? Boolean. Exact what you need to give. Suppose say B2, I can give true here, right? And then I can print the B2. So that is the way, right? You can just define the data type and then you can work accordingly. So you will slowly will see how to operate with the different variable, right? What are the different operation can done, all this stuff. But your variable should be unique always. Though you are changing the data type, but that will not be a solution. Your variable name should be unique. You could see this coming and true. Next thing is that for the integer part, right? Whatever is integer, right? Is it possible to give something decimal point or some character value, right? Is it possible? Suppose say give something called like that. Is it allowed? No, it will not allow. You could see error message coming, right? Type mismatch, cannot convert from double to byte. In case you are giving something called a, is it possible? No, because that is a string value. Combination of alphanumeric character will be called as a string. Okay. Similarly, if you give boolean, it will take only true or false. But if you give true one, it will not work. Again, it will throw the error. True one cannot be resolved to a variable. So true or false, it will only take the boolean part. But if you want to go with the like alphanumeric character, so you need to define something called string s. Then you can give within the double quote. You have to give. Suppose say like anything, alphanumeric character. You can give anything, and then you can print it out. So every time it will be colon, end with colon, and again if you want to print it out, then you have to just SYSO method and then you can print it out. Now let's try to run it and let's see. So that is the way, like different primitive and non-primitive data type, like working in the Java. So primitive is having 4 type integer. It will only contains the like normal integer value. It will not contain any decimal alphanumeric character. Relational type, it will float or double, right? It will consider contain the decimal part as well. But in case you are giving only integer, still will convert in the decimal. Character, it will take the single within a single quote the character value A to Z. Boolean will contain only the true or false value. And for the non-primitive, you can define with string, where you can give content. You can give like alphanumeric character value, but within the double quote. Okay, so integer will normal thing without a decimal, right? Only the numeric value. Relational type, float or double, you can give any decimal value after the decimal, right? You can give any numeric value also. Character, no other value, only A to Z value will take. Conditional boolean, it will take true or false, other value it will not consider. For the string, within the double quote you have to give any kind of alphanumeric character it will take. Then you already understand something about the data type, and variable also you have defined, right? This variable, this is called variable and this is called value, corresponding value, right? Another way we can define, suppose say I am defining some variable called integer b3, right? You could see here some a warning message is coming, because whatever variable you have declared, that is not used anywhere, right? You have just defined it. Then next one is b3 equal to 200. That way you can define. Okay, now if you want to print the b3, so it will work. So that is the way. Sometime you can directly, right, define the variable and the data type, right? Define the data type for the variable, you can assign the value. Sometime in another line, as and when it will be used, you can define the value as well. So that is the way you can deal with the data type. You could see now it is coming as 200 for that value. Then what is variable? So data type, already the classification of the data, it is defining that what is the variable all about. right? How the variable is defining, whether it's a integer, whether it's string, whether it's alphanumeric character value, whether it's a normal numeric value, whether it's a boolean value, like that. But variable is the container where you are storing the data. So that is the, actually whenever you are calling b, so that value is coming. So b variable is containing that particular value in the container. Okay. So a variable is a container which holds the value while the Java program is executed. A variable is assigned with a data type. Without data type you cannot do with the variable. So variable is the name, the memory location. Java variable are case sensitive, right? Variable name should not match with the Java reserve keyword or the keyword. Suppose say in case you want to give something called for, whether it will work. Suppose say give something called for. You could see error message immediately coming. Why? Because it's a reserve keyword in Java. So you cannot call something called for. But if you give something called for one, it will work. Okay. Now you can also change it here. It will work. But reserve keyword exactly you cannot do. Right? It should be case sensitive. Suppose say here you are giving for one called f caps. So will it work? No. Because f caps and f small is totally different. So here you also need to change to f caps. Otherwise it will throw the error. Limit to 50 character, within 350 character you need to define the variable name. In Java all the variable must be declared before they can be used. Suppose say I already defined b3 and I am using here b3, or I am defining for 125 and I am using here. But if I cut the code, and if I just paste it here, will it work? No, because you have to define the variable before you are using it. So here we are using it, but here after that we are defining the variable, so it will not work. So you have to always you declare the variable before the use. You can define the value, then there not be a problem, but you need to define it. The next thing is that in case you are defining something called integer a, but you did not define any value. Now if you want to call the print the value of the variable a, then what it will print? Can anyone let me know what it will print the value of the a? Yeah, you need to initialize the value, but later point of time whenever we'll be dealing with the object and class, then we will see without defining the value also it will print the default value, right? It will print the default value. So what is the default value? So based on the data type it will print the default value. So for the integer it will default value will be 0, right? For double the default value will be 0.0. For string default value will be null. So that is the way it will work. Okay. The value stored in a variable can be changed during program execution. Suppose say now here I have defined something called b1 equal to 100, and here I have printed out, right? Now again I can go with, I no need to define the data type. In case I want to call it, like I can give it 200. I can give again b1 equal to 300. Now questions will be that what value the b1 will take during printing here. So here this is having 3 value, right? 100, 200 and 300. So what value it will take? Can anyone try? So it is having 3 value, right? 100, 200 and 300. Yeah. What value it will print? What is the reason? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the latest one value it will take. In case is multiple one, it is latest one. That is the reason there is a concept will come called final keyword, right? But I don't want to change the, don't want to change the value of the variable. So I can define something called final. So that part will be covered in the upcoming session. So that is the way, right? Final keyword is having very important. I mean, not only the variable level, it will be work in the method level, class level, right? Through which we can, right, avoid lot of unnecessary problem. Now if you run here, b1 will be printing the value as latest value, whatever is defined latest, 300 it is coming. So in Java there are 3 types of variable: local variable, instance variable and class or static variable. So here we already created the class session3. Let's comment out this part. So variable I can define at the main method level as well as the class level. So in case I am defining at the class level, then 3 variable type I can define. Local variable means it will be only applicable locally. Outside that method, right, outside the particular thing, it cannot be accessed anywhere, cannot be accessed. That is the thing it called local variable. Then your class variable, then your instance variable. So class or static variable, in case you are declaring something static, whenever you will be creating the object or instance, you will be calling in the main method, no object or instance need to be created. So I will try to define something called integer, right? So yeah, first I will define static one, static or class, static or class variable. So you need to define the word called static, then integer, suppose say I1 equal to 20. That is called static variable. Okay. Then I will be defining one thing called integer I2. So I did not define the, you could see error message is coming because you cannot have the same name, the two variable. Value can be same. Suppose say I am giving here 30. So this is called instance variable. Then local variable, so you can create a method. So right now no need to worry. So I'm just creating a simple method here. So void test. So this is return type of the method, and then name of the method which is the first bracket, and here you can keep with double bracket. So that is the way method. It will be covered in the upcoming video, not be a problem. Just basic one I am creating. I can define some variable called I3 equal to 40. How can I access this? Then in the method itself I can call it out, I3. Okay. Now this is I have defined in the class level. Then how can I access them in the main method? These are the three variable. Okay. Now let's try to print out. Let's try to print out I1. Okay, you could see no error message. Now let's try to print out all the variable here, I2 and I3, and let's see the error message. You could see for I2 and I3 error message is coming. For I1 no error message, because in case you are defining something as static with the help of static keyword, what will happen? Automatic memory allocation will be done for that variable. That is the reason in the main method, right, we can directly access those variable and we can, right, use them as and when required. That is for the static variable. Second one is instance variable, means these are the non-static. So in case you have to use them, first you need to create an object or instance for the class, then you can use them, otherwise you cannot use them. And in local variable, only accessible in the local method. If you call the local method, then you can just use it, but not using the variable name, you cannot use it. So you can see here the error message, cannot make a static reference to the non-static field for the I2, and for the I3 cannot be resolved to a variable. So next question will come, how I can use those two variables. So if I want to access this instance variable, I have to create a object. So in the first line you are seeing, right, we are creating object or instance for the WebDriver. WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver, new Firefox driver, like that. So here also you can create the object of that particular class. So for the interface we cannot create the object directly, but for the class we can create the object directly. Okay, so this is the class, so I can create the object. So how can I create the object? So that is the syntax in the main method. Of class name, then you need to give the object name, suppose say object, that is called instance or of the object, then new class name, and then bracket. That is the way you can create an object or instance of the class. In the first you already seen, right? So that is the way we are creating it. WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver, because WebDriver is the interface, but the Chrome driver is a class, so that is the way. But here you can give here the class difference, here also class difference. This is the object name and this is the new keyword. That is the way you can create an object or instance of the class. Now you already created the object. Now if you want to print it out, you can use again SYSO. Then you have to give the object reference first here, and then if you press dot, then you could see I2 is coming. Right, now you can see from where it is coming. It is coming from session 3 class. What is the return type? Return type is int. For the Selenium code, right, it was already defined, but here you are defining manually, and still now you could see that from where it is coming. It is coming from the session 3 with the help of the object whatever you created for the session 3 class. This is the variable and this is the integer type. But I3 still you cannot call it with the help of the object as well. No, it is not possible. This is a local variable. No, you cannot call it here. So if you want to just call it, so you have to use the object and then you need to call the method. Now you can just access it and print it out. So that is the way these three kind of variable will play very pivotal role in Java. Now you could see the test method. It is a method bracket, right? Then it is return type is void and session 3 is the class name. Now if you print it out, these three variable will be printed out in the console. So the value of the I1 here, it is coming as 20. Then value of the I2 with the help of the object for the class. So that is the reason it is called instance variable. So until you are creating an object or instance, so it cannot be accessed. And then I3 you are calling it because it's locally accessible, so you cannot access it with the object as well. Just you are calling the method name through which you are just calling that internal code, right? That is the way you are accessing these three variable. Yeah, I will take a pause here, guys. So any question from this one? Are you able to hear me, guys? So any questions from this topic? Yeah. Yes. Good evening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll see that one because I mean definitely I mean that is not specific to the development right platform. Here we are working as a test automation tester, so I mean that is the concept I think will be subject. Otherwise, right, in case we want to learn everything, that will be I mean again lengthy process and it will be confusing sometimes. So that is the reason, right, whatever way I'll be I mean going through the class. So whatever is really required to start right your journey as part of the automation tester or developing some framework, so that other thing will help I mean sequentially. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, because right, because here we are not going for the development perspective, we are going for the testing angle, right? Whatever is really required and really need to understand, so that is the way, right, we will be covering in the classes as well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, any other questions? Are you able to understand the concept of data type and variable? That is really important, guys. Okay, because everywhere, right, you will be calling, you will be defining the data type. So it will be giving you suggestion that what data type, and based on that you will be, whenever you are creating any variable, right, you will be defining the data type first and then the variable, and then sometime you need to define the value as well, and then variable, right, you need to define some variable called local variable, then your instance variable, the class variable. And in case it is a local variable, it will only accessible locally, and sometime down the line you will learn about some global variable, right, so that you will be defining at least one time, so with the help of the static keyword, so that variable can be accessed across your program, across your class, so that in the real time framework also, whenever you will be developing from the scratch, so you will be defining something called global variable. Okay, that is not a particular type, but it will be with the help of the static keyword, right, you are defining something called global variable, so that it can be accessed globally. But in case you want to protect something variable, right, so you can declare something called final, so that nobody can change your variable. You can make it private, so that only accessible to the private level. But in case you are defining something called public, right, or without any access modifier, that will also considered as a public default one, so that can be used by anyone. So down the line, slowly you will be learning it, but not in a single session, but everything, all the remaining session will be also seeing. So few of the topics maybe it will be repeated the concept, so that in the all in from all the topics, 13 topics, definitely you will be learning the importance of each and everything specific to the whatever is really required for the automation testing framework development or the automation testing journey. But here, that development perspective angle, you will be not be learning thoroughly, but I can assure that, right, whatever is really required to start your journey in the Selenium automation with Java, to start with your framework development, and to go with the different framework like the BDD, data driven, keyword, hybrid driven, that way you will be learning it, and slowly, like, you will be getting more in-depth knowledge as well for this different area. Yeah, guys, are you comfortable as of now? Okay, what about other guys? Okay, okay, thank you. Then we'll go with the Java operator. Yeah, sorry, I think someone is pinging something. Any questions, guys? Okay, you can stop me in case you are having any specific question, not be a problem. Then Java operator in the real time also, right? Just 1 second. Okay, fine. Yeah. So in the normal way, right? In the we are doing something called like addition, subtraction, multiplication, all this stuff. So in the Java also it can be possible. Then we can validate, right, whether equal to, not equal to, greater than, less, all this stuff with the help of the relational operator. And arithmetic operator, right, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modules also. Assignment operator, suppose in case you want to increase every time by 5, 10, 1, 2, it can be it can be possible. Logical operator, just like that, and or not, we can also test it in case two variable is, right, logically working or not. So operator in Java are nothing but the symbol which is used to perform different operation. Okay. So arithmetic operator will show, I will show you first, then we'll go to the relational. So suppose say here, I will just comment it out for now. So I will define something called integer a equal to 20, integer b equal to say 8, integer c equal to say 5. Three variable I have defined. Then if I want to just operate, right, want to sum them, a plus b plus c. So that is the sign will be work as a sum for the integer. But that same sign, in case you are defining something called string, that will be used as a concatenation. So in the string we can learn here, we are learning. Similarly, if you want to subtract something, suppose say a minus b. So same way it will work. Say multiplication, division, modulus. division, and then that is the sign for modulus, percentage. So the remainder term will be there, right? So let's try to run it and let's see how the code is behaving. You could see a plus b plus c equal to 20 plus 8 plus 5 33, a minus b equal to 12, a multiplied b 20 multiplied by 8 equal to 160, then a divided by b, right? A divided by b, right? So if I divide 20 by 8, so 2 and remainder will be 4, right? So that is the reason division part is coming as 2 and remainder part is 4. So that is the way you can work with this arithmetic operator. And then there is a two operator called increment and decrement. So here it is very important what is increment and what is decrement operator. So let's try to print a. Okay, and then next try to print a plus plus, and then again next try to print a. Can anyone let me know what will be the output was three line? So variable value is 20. What will be the output for 3 line? No. No. It will be 20, 20 and 21. Let's try run it and then I will explain it. So because the initially the first line is value is 20. So it is coming. And second one I am incrementing, but this is called post increment. Means it will print the value and then it will increment it. Now the value after display the value is 20, but it is storing the value as 21. So that is the reason next time if I want to access the value of a which is holding the value as 21, so it is coming as 21. So here it is 20. Next line it is called post increment. So it will print the value, current value, then it will increment, and then the increment value will be holding in the variable. So now after printing the value as 20, the value changed to 21, and now the same value is coming as here. Is it clear, guys? Okay, yeah. The next one, say I am giving it something called here. It is called pre-increment. So here what will happen? That 20, then 21, and then 21, because it will increment pre, means incrementing fast, then it is printing the value, and that value is getting stored in the variable, and then now if I call a, again that 21 is coming. So that is the difference between the pre-increment and the post-increment. Similarly, decrement is minus minus sign. So similarly it will work. Pre-increment or the pre-decrement, it is called plus plus or minus minus. Then the relational operator through which you can check, right, whether it's equal to, not equal to, greater, less, right, less equal to, greater equal, like that. So suppose say I want to check, say a equal to b, a not equal to sign, that is the sign of not equal to, greater equal to, or you can give simply greater, right. So greater means only in case greater it will giving true or false result. Similarly less equal to or less, that will work, like. So in case it will giving you only true or false result. So a not equal to b, no, false, a not equal to b, yes, a greater than b, yes, a greater equal to b, yes, a less equal to b, no. So that is the way it is coming here in the console. Then assignment operator. So you already see the post increment and the post decrement. But say I want to change the value of a to 5, right? Every time I want to change it to 5, 5 or 10, 10, 10 like that, or minus or division something like that. So how can I do it? So you can do it like that way. So you can give something called a plus equal to, then you can keep something called 10. So your a value will change to incremented by 10. Now if you want to print it out, so now what is the value it will print? It will print the value 20 plus 30 because a value is incremented by 10 already. Similarly, minus minus division, everything you can do it, right? Suppose say now b uh, division equal to say 4. I want to already do it, right? So if I want to print the value, so it will be 4, 8 divided by 2, 4, right? So it will be 2. So that is the way increment decrement, right? So that is called assignment operator. So instead of only plus plus minus minus, right, you can also do with the multiplication division with whatever value you want to do it. This is the value instead of only plus plus minus minus. So that is the way we can deal with the assignment operator. And logical operator primarily work on the boolean to check whether this two value is like equal or right. So the logic gate, right? You, in case you already learned the logic gate, right? So you already see the logic, right? The two gates, right? When it will be both are true or both anyway is false or the not, right? Like that. So say I am defining some of the variable called boolean variable bwlen b1 equal to true, say b2 false. Now if you want to check the logic here, so b1 right, whether equal to, you can give ampersand ampersand and then b2. So in case both are true only, it will give you true, otherwise it is true cross false equal to false. But here if you give something called or, so anyone is true, it will give you true. Sorry, not that syntax, pipe, it will be pipe symbol b1, right? Now it will work. You could see, so anything is false means false, just like 1 multiplied by 0 equal to 0 always whatever you want to do it. But here anything is true, it will be right true. In case both are true only, here the first one will be true only, because need to be both true, the logical or, logical not, and logical and. That is the way. There are couple of logical operator or operation also you can do in the Java as well. So arithmetic, relationals, right, assignment and logical, but this is the primary operator. There are a couple of more operators there, but this will be used more in the automation testing arena, I could say. Okay, then we'll go the one of the most important topics, object and classes. So you already see how to create the object or instance for the classes, right? Still we'll be doing more and more insightful. I'll be discussing more insight, right? What is the link between object and classes? So what is class? So class is a group of objects which will be having the common properties, or it is a template or blueprint from which the object will be created. An object is a, in the Java, is a physical as well as logical entity, whereas the class is only a logical entity. So class, suppose I am giving a simple example, say, right, animal. So what is animal? Animal is a group of different, right, animal. It can be human being, it can be elephant, cat, dog, everything. All these particular types will combine, comes under animal. So does animal is having logically exist? Sorry, physically exist. Logically it is there, but no physical. In case you are saying something animal, no. But in case you are saying something tiger, right, people can understand this is the tiger, this is the characteristic of the tiger. But animal, no characteristic at all. So how the object characteristic will be linked? It will be having some data and some behavior. Data means a value, behavior means the property. So in case I am saying like I am a human being, so what are the characteristic, what are the data I can have? So I can have some characteristic, right? I am a human being, I will be having some features, right? Like I will be having two hand, who will be walking, two leg, right? Two ear, two eye, one mouth, like that. Okay. And what are the different value I can have? Similar way, right? Based on the thing, right? You can have the relevant value also. But animal does not have any physical existence, but it's logically existent. So that is the way, right? Multiple similar kind of object will create a class, and object is nothing but the blueprint from the class. Okay, that is the way in the real time object and class will be linked. So object is an element of an application representing an instance of the class. An entity that has state and behavior is known as object, like I have given the example as well. So how we can create the class manually? So here you already created a class, right, which is session 3. Still in that one, in the package, I can create more class as well. So say I want to create some class called student, right? So what are the different features student can have? Okay, some important features. So student can have roll number. What is the data type? It should be unique, right? It should be unique in nature. So it should be in integer. So integer roll number. Student can have some name, right? So it can be name, can be alphabet, right? Something. So it will be string. Then class number. It can be also 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be also integer. So these are the primary thing. Lot of thing will be there. Then it will be having some school also, right, or the college, like that. Anything can be there. So let's try to create some class here called class syntax, and then you need to give the name of the class student. Then here you need to give that bracket through which you can create the class. Now I'll be defining some variable like roll number, then string name of the student, then again integer class number. This is the three variable I have defined, which is the class is student. Then now how can I access those variable? These are the variable. I did not define any value here. Then I will try to understand you what does it mean by global variable, right? Here. So these are the variable I have defined. I have just did not define any value. Now how can we create an object or instance? So I need to call that class. I need to go to the main method. I will be creating an instance called student1, right? That is the instance I can create, equal to new student. Okay. Now I can call those variable because object or instance is created, and these are the variables are non-static in nature, not static variable. These are the instance variable. Are you able to understand logic, right? This is the instance because we did not define something called static. Static code did not define it. Then how can I access those variable? If I want to call it here SYSO, then with the help of the variable I can call the, with the help of the object I can call those variables. Suppose say roll number, then I can call that name, I can call that class number. You could see from where it is coming from the student class, data type is integer. Now I did not define any value here, right? Only define the data type and define the variable name. So these are the data type, and this is the data type, and this is the variable, this is the class student. And here in the main method I have created the object or instance for the class. Okay, and now I am calling to I am trying to call those variable in the main method, but for those variable I did not define any value. So now the what problem will come? what the value it will print it out. I told, right, it will print the default value based on the data type. So what is the default value for the integer? It is 0. For the string it will be null, and for the again integer it will be 0. So now it is working like that. But in the main method, how can I define the value in case I want to access the accurate value? So I can, similar way, I can define the value first, student dot roll number. Suppose say student roll number is integer 5. I can give student 1 roll number, then student 1 dot name equal to say Rahul, then say student 1 class number, say I want to keep the class number as, say he reads in class 8. Okay, now if you run it, your program, you can do it. You could see 5 Rahul and class 8. Now say you are having 2 students or multiple students, how can you create the object or instance? So you have to create the object or instance called new object or instance called student2, right? I can create a new called student2 because the variable or the object or instance should be unique here. Now I can define everywhere like student2 2. I can call the relevant value. So here I can give roll number as 8, name as Rajiv, and class number, suppose say study at class number 10. Now if you print it out, so that is the way your class should be linked, right? You should add the value whenever it will be required, because your those value got changed frequently. It can change, right? So today the class, today Rahul is studying at class 8, right? After he's giving the exam, he will be promoted to 9, and where roll number might get changed, and name also vary based on the student name. So these are the called like variable, but that value can change. But in case you are creating some class where some of the value will be constant across all your object or instance, so here what can be the variable which can be fixed across all your variable or the object? So suppose say school name, right? So here I am defining something called school name, because I can say that they are studying from 5 to 10 standard, so they are in school. And here you can define the value as well, because your school name will not change for all your student, it is fixed only. In case it change somewhere after 5 years, you can only change it here only in the class level, no need to change it here. Suppose your school name is say, right, any right, anything, say Kolkata High School, same given. Okay, so which is common across all your instance. Now if you want to print out for everywhere, so you can just call it, so student1 dot school name. You could see. Now if you again change it for student2, but same value will print it because you define the value also in globally. So that is the way in the real time you should work in the same way. Okay. You could see school is common everywhere, but other value whatever will be really change, you can just, right, you can create the object for instance, then you can add your value, and then you can just as and when required, right, whatever way. There are a lot of verification point also there, you need to validate it also, then you can do the do the relevant operation based on the requirement. So that is the way your object and class, right, will be linked in the real time as well. So I'll take a pause here because that is the very critical concept, guys. Okay, so any questions from this concept? Anyone? Is it understandable, guys? Yeah, sure. So in the package, right, multiple classes you can create manually. So during the here, as and when you are creating, right, you are creating the class, right, after right clicking. But in the same packages, right, multiple classes can be, you can define. So what is class? Right, class is a, like, whenever multiple object, similar kind of object will form a class. So class is logically exist but not the physically exist, whereas object will physically exist. So whenever you are defining the class, you need to use the word called class, and you need to give the suitable name, you need to give the double bracket, and then you need to define the variable. So whatever variable value might get changed, right, you just add the variable name with the relevant data type. Data type you already learned, like integer, double, float, string, primitive, non-primitive data, right? But whatever, like, variable will be fixed across your class, you can just give the value in the class level as well. After that, you can create an object or instance in the main method here, okay, because you will be dealing in that same way. And after that, you can create multiple object or instance for the particular class, and without defining the value, if you want to access those value in the main method level with the help of the object or instance, see, it will be default value based on the data type. So in case it is integer, default value will be 0. In case it's a double, 0.0, right? Float 0.0, I mean, and string, it will be null. But you can add those value here based on a requirement. But the global variable, whenever you are declaring at the class level, you can define the value, so that in case though you are creating multiple object or instance, your global variable value will never change. So then you can, after defining the value here, after creating the object or instance, you can access them same way, and you can create multiple object or instance, and you can then again access them. But the global variable, you no need to define again and again. Instead of that, you are defining at the value on the class level as well, so that automatically all your object or instance will be redirected to that global variable value. Is it clear, guys? Still any confusion? Any more questions, guys? Any doubt? Okay. Then we already learned what is string, right? So string is nothing but a alphanumeric character combination. So string is non-primitive data type. So string is a sequence of character written in double quotes. String may contain alphabet, number, and special character. There is a class java.lang.string class which will provide many of the important methods to perform the operations on the sequence of the character value. Right? There are three ways you can create the string. So that is the one way, string. Then you can give the name here after creating the variable, and here you can convert the character to the string as well, and here with the help of the new keyword you can create a string. That is the three way you can create a string. Now there are lot of important method function is there, but whatever is really personally I have used mostly, right, 80% 90% I have tried to jot it down here, and I'll be demonstrating what are the really string class method or functions available through which we can validate multiple string. Say, let define couple of string here first. So in case string is not having any value, you can define like that way, null. So s and it is not the same, okay. here it is not the same. So I have defined 4 string, right? Then what we can do, I can concatenate the string. So in case you are using the plus sign for the the double or integer, so what is there, it is just doing the summation. But here if you want to use the plus sign, so it will be concatenated, say s1 plus s2, right? And then say I want to add something called 100. So what will happen, it will concatenate, right? Added, right? The value will be added after the string value. Okay, you could see selenium selenium because this 2 is concatenated, and here 100 is getting added. But if you print something after giving some space, right? How can you do it? So you can use the string, you can need to use plus operator, then you can use within the double quote space, that is called space, and again concatenation sign. So there will be space, right? So that is the way s1, and through plus operator you want to concatenate and you want to give the string double quote means space, and then again it will be s2 value. Now it will be selenium, then space, then 100. So that is the way you can concatenate multiple string. Sorry, selenium and selenium, right? Because here we are using that one. So here now it space is coming here, you could see, because that is the space you are giving. In case you are giving 2, 3, 4 space, it will work like that only. You could see 4 space. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the way you can concatenate two string. Then character add, if you want to print that particular character, particular location, right, particular thing, what is the character available, so you can use char add. So in Java it will start from 0, guys. Okay, so here, so what is the character available? Selenium. So 0th character S, first character E, then second character L, third E, fourth N, fifth I, sixth U, seventh M. So what is the total size of the string? It's 8, means 0 to 7 it will go. So if you want to give the string s1 dot char add, right, what index you want to, suppose say I want to 4, so you can get it out. If you want to get the length of the string, say s1 dot length, right, it is coming from the string class method, length is coming from the string class, return type is integer, so it will giving the length. But in case you want to print the length of the null string s3, so your length will be 0 because it is a null, means it is not having any value. Then you can compare in case the both the string is similar or not, right? Okay, it will throw the error, it will be converted in the upcoming session. You can learn how to handle the exceptions with the help of the try catch block or finally block. Okay, in case any string does not have any value, definitely it is a logical error. Suppose if you want to divide something by 0, right, it will be giving you the error. So that is the way we can handle those exceptions, so you can learn in the upcoming session. Now you can compare, right, you can see whether both the string is same or not, right? You can compare also equaling ignore case, means in case lowercase uppercase is there, it will work. Suppose say I want to compare here so s1 dot compare, right? You can see compare 2, means normally it will compare, and s2 is that, you could see is coming as 32. So because your capital S and S is not same, that is the reason it's giving some value, right? But in case you are calling it compare equal ignore case, means it will ignoring the case sensitivity, right? Dot compare s1 dot compare, so it will now giving you the 0 because it is ignoring the case. You could see now it is coming as 0. So that is the way, right, you can do it. So for validating whether those are same or not, you can compare it, right? With ignoring cases means automatically it is not possible, manually possible whether it is capital S or small s. So in case your objective is to only the wording part, right, you can go with the normal compare to. So it will giving you some value. So value is nothing but, right, I mean, so what is the different way, right, from caps small s to caps s, what is the difference, like it will go with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that way. So here, so I've given example, say, right, A and P. So A to P there are 15 differences, right? A will come as the first syntax of the English keyword, right, and P will come 16. So that is the reason it will giving it. So not always, but it will giving you some actual differences in the real time, so that you can check whether it's actually, I mean, equal, or in case of, I mean, equal ignore case, it is giving you the correct one or not. Length I already mentioned. In case if you want to replace something keyword, right, with any other keyword, so there's a phase, but I want to replace A to P. If you see the movie like I think called Three Idiots, right? So they have written some script, especially in the Bollywood movie. So they have written already some script, right, but they have replaced with the help of the replace keyword, right, something called with A, something called B. So that way you can replace the particular alphabet as well with the help of replace. I think somebody ping, yeah, Joyjit, yeah, please. Yeah, what is your question? Yeah, right. Output, I mean, generally it will happen based on the numeric way. But here, if you give the capital or the small way, right? Sometime it will S, right? A to Z, it will consider one of the thing will consider small one, and the capital Y it will consider the same way. So sometimes, yeah, yeah, right, right. S is the 19 word. I will check, but here if you give suppose say P SP, and let's try to see. So it will be giving you the right only, but small and capitals I did not do check how it is behaving. You could see -3 is coming. Okay, PQRS, right? It is coming that way, but small word and capital words even I need to check what is the difference it is giving. Okay, but I think small will behave different way with the capital. So in the real time I just checked with that way only, so it is giving, but yeah, I will still check the small and capital how it is differentiating. Yeah, other questions, I think anyone raise any hand? Then if you want to convert something to uppercase, lowercase, right, suppose say this is the Selenium part, right, I want to convert into everything is uppercase, right, how can I simply do it? Okay, so here I am printing it out, but here if you want to convert it, right, you can create some new string string, that is the way in the real time you can store the data. Suppose say s5, right, equal to s1 dot to uppercase or to lowercase, right, to uppercase. So that way this your new variable will be storing that uppercase value. It is already converting, and now you can print out simply s5. So don't confuse. Okay, you could see now it's getting converted. So here we are doing at a single line, but here in the real time we will not be doing in the single line, because our objective is to, we need to store in some variable, and then with the variable, why we need to store in some variable, because we are already converting the thing and we are storing it, so that, right, with the same variable reference we can, right, use it multiple times instead of hard coding the thing. So that is the way, right, generally in the real time, in case you need to some change something, right, you can store in some other variable with the similar type. Suppose in case you want to store the length, right, you can store in some integer variable, and then as and when required, right, you can deal with that variable only. So every time you no need to call s1 dot length or like that. So that is the way in the real time you will be capturing the relevant information, relevant attribute, right, in the other variable, so that that variable you can call in 20 places, 30 places, so you need to repeat the same code again and again and again. So that is the beauty of the new variable as well. Then trim is nothing but the kind of removing the space. Space means the like keyboard, if you enter the that one, right, key space, suppose say here some space is there in the trailing pace or leading place, it is called. But if you just normally work here, so the space will be coming, you could see the space will be visible here, you could see the space is coming, leading pace and this is the trailing pace, right. It will be having some differences based on the spaces. Okay, now if you want to trim the page, so you can do it. Dot trim. So what will happen, it will both remove the starting leading paces as well as the end paces. Only the, you can see now Selenium is coming only, but no spaces. It is called leading paces, it is called trailing paces. Contents. Suppose say I have given you a book, right? Manually you need to search that some word, right? Whether the book is word, some word, right? In similar way, right? The Three Idiots movie, right? You already seen, right? There they have given some name randomly. People are trying to search manually, going through the pages, 5 pages. But through the script, what I can do, I can have my reference, right? I'm already having the reference stored in some variable, right? And then I can validate whether that particular variable is containing that word or phrase like that. So that is the way I can do it. Suppose say string str equal to welcome to Java world. Okay. So in case it's having long, very long story. But if you want to check whether that something called welcome word is there or not, dot contents, right? You could see either character or a kind of sequence, right? So that is the way you can just check it. So contents, so here you can give something called welcome, it will check, it will giving you true or false based on the match. So that is the way in the real time, right? That is the very important, it's giving true. So you can validate whether that word is present, phrase is present or not in the book or in the particular line or in the variable. This is empty, similar way, whether the particular string is empty or not, you can check it, because in case length is 0 means empty. Start with, right? We can check whether something, that particular phrase is starting with that keyword, ends with that keyword, right? It will giving you true or false only. Then substring, that is also very important. Suppose say you are having 20 lines, right? But you don't want to only work with the some of the important middle word, right? How can you do that? So you can use something called substring. String. These are the important method. There are, apart from this method, there are a lot of methods available in the string, but these are the commonly used methods, right? I mean, whatever way I have worked so far, I have seen these are the most important method which is coming from the string class. Then what is the thing? I'm just checking here. Substring. Right here you can see like multiples method is there, like integer begin index. So in case you are giving something begin index, so remaining word, remaining phrases will be printed out. But in case you are giving in I mean starting index and ending index, means middle part only be printed out, right? So that is the way you can do it. So starting index, suppose I am giving as 10th and here I am giving as 20, so it will be intermediate part will be displayed. But here if you just give only 10, so after 10 everything will be printed out. So that is the difference between this same thing, right? You could see Java till world means 10 to 20, that is the position, and here after Java everything is printing out. After 10th position all the remaining word is printing it out. So that is the way, right? These are the important, very important methods available in the string class. So in the real time, precisely for the Selenium framework, right, most of this thing will be coming as a string, right? Because in case you want to read the data, so you will be reading the strings mostly. The data will be alphanumeric character value whenever you will be doing the operation, so those will be also string. So that is the reason string will be very crucial part, right, especially for the Selenium automation in Java. So these are the important method. You can give a try. Apart from that, there are other methods also available. So in case if you want to know what are the methods available, just press any string variable and then press dot. You could see these are the variables, right? These are the methods available in the string class, right? And you could see coming from the string class, the return type, this is the method name, and this is the argument. This is called argument in the bracket. You can just check with all the method, but not are widely used, right? In case you are saying me something because maybe I do not aware, I did not work that, right? Maybe. So whatever will be really worked here, I have tried to document it, so that will give you more boost in the real time. So this is the part we'll cover. Then I will again take a pause before going to the remaining topics. So array. So in the real time also, whenever in the real time, in case interviewer is asking question, right? So right, they will go in some sequence. So they will first go, ask you with the data type, then what is character, then how you can convert the character to a string, and then how you can come to the array, and then how can you go to the collection framework. So collection framework will be the last advanced topics will be covered in the last day of the Java, day 6. So no need to worry. So you already see the as a character is also data type, right? With a kind of single alphabet, and then with the character you can convert the character to a I mean string. After that, lot of methods is there to handle the string. Okay, then the array will come, which is nothing but a right collection of similar type of element that have contiguous memory allocation, right? Means it can be integer, it can be string, it can be float, it can be double, but it will be similar kind of data. It will form as an array, right? But array is having some limitation or drawback, because once you define the size of the array, you cannot change the size. That is the problem, and that is why your collection framework will come into the picture. So in the collection framework there are so many classes, so many interfaces there, right? So that, right, you no need to hard code or fix your collection framework value, right, size, so that automatically based on your variable it will take that size. But the collection, the problem is that once you define the size, right, you cannot increase the, suppose in case you are declaring some size as 4 in the collection framework, it can have any string data or the other data, integer, but it will be having similar data only. In case you are giving mix and match, it will not work. It should be similar data type collection framework. But in case you are defining the value as 4, so it will start with 0, 1, 2 and 3. But you, in case after defining the value, in case you are saying that your variable should be 6, so you cannot change it. So the remaining two variable you cannot add it in the array. And another problem is that suppose say you define the value, I mean size of the collection as 4, but you are only having these three variable. So what will happen? The remaining variable, remaining value will take the default value of the data type here. So that is the way your array will work. So it cannot go beyond that limit. But in case it's having lesser element, the remaining element it will fill with the default data type of the array. So an array is a very common type of data structure wherein all element must be of the same data type. Remember it. Once defined, the size of the array is fixed and cannot increase to accommodate more element. Index will start from 0 and it will go till n minus 1. Okay, so we can store only the fixed size of the element in the array. It does not grow its size during runtime. To solve the problem, collection framework is used in Java, which grow automatically. So there are two types of array. One is single dimensional array, one is multi-dimensional array. Okay, single dimensional means only one dimension, only row wise, but multi-dimensional means like two dimension, row and column wise. So how can you deal with the array? So there are two steps, two things. One is you can directly define the array and you can define the value of the array as well. And another one is you can declare the array, you can construct the array, you can initialize the value of the array. So two processes I will be showing it. So suppose say for one dimensional array I will be showing you one process, and for the other two dimensional one I will be showing you one process. So for the one dimensional, let's go with the three steps, step by step. So we'll be declaring the array. Let's comment it out, this code. So we'll be declaring the array. Suppose say I want to declare something called string type. So I can give something name called string array. Okay, string array. And you need to one dimension, so you need to give one dimension. Okay, here it will be that sign. Okay, yeah, okay, so that is called declaring the array. Then I need to construct the array, means I need to define the size of the array, right? Then how can I give it? So this is my variable here, string array. I can define, and I can define the size. So it will be with the help of the new string is the data type, and what is the size I can give it here. Say I want to define the size as 3. So now what happened? Okay, string array, new string, that is the size here. Then I can define the value. So string array, so 0, it will start with 0, so I can give the value called, say, Rajiv. String see, let's give the value and let's see what the problem is coming. Then I can give it 1, this is 3, Rahul, Kamal. Okay, what's the error is coming? Syntax error token, string string array, new string only. Let's see what's the thing. Integer, it will not work. String array, third bracket, no, third bracket, I need something called string str. String array. Okay, I will define directly. Okay, sorry, I have removed the main method, guys. Okay, that is the reason it is throwing the error. I was surprised to see this kind of error. I have removed the main method here, right? So I have commented out the main method as well. So I need to take the main method. Session, then that was the main method here. I can change it. Yeah, it's coming. So I have removed the main method. That is the reason it is not understanding, because in the class it is not understanding that one, right? String type. So now we have defined the three variables. So this is the three-way step process. So the first one is I have defined the array, declared the array. So this is the type of the array and this is the name of the array and this is the dimension of the array. And then I have defined the construction, means what is the size of the array, and then I have defined initialize the array details, means the variable 0, 1, 2 and position. Now if you want to print out, right, maybe you can use it at any point of time based on your requirement. Suppose how can you print it out? So again you need to give like same way here. So that is the way you can just deal with the array. It is for single dimension. So multiple two dimension I'll be showing it with the different type called integer, and I can operate with different operation also. So let's see here. You could see the value is coming here. So this is the one way. The first three-step process we can go. We can declare the array, which is the data type and the array name and the size of the array. Then I can define it, right? The what is the array size, right? Here it is one dimension, two dimension, then the size of the array, and then I can construct it. I mean, I can initialize the variable for each and every thing. But here say I did not given any value for that two. Okay. So what three variable is there, right? Three container is there for the array where I can store the value, but I have stored the value for two position. So my it is blank still, right? So what will happen if you want to print it out? Based on the data type, again the value will be printed. It will be printing null value. Now once you construct the array, if you want to change, right, if you want to add more value, so will it allow? No, it will not allow. It will throw the error again. That's the problem. So if you save it, it will not throw it during the compile time. This is called compile time and one is called run time. So array will not understand the 3 because it will be out of index. Only runtime it can understand. So compile time no error, it is working fine, but during runtime it will throw the error. That is called runtime error. You could see exception in main thread. Index 3 out of bound for length, because array length is 3, so 0, 1 and 2 it can handle, but not beyond 2. So that is the reason during runtime only your program will know your size is 3, but you want to define some element at the fourth position, so it will throw the error. So that is the one way you can construct the one dimensional array where the type equal to data type equal to string. The next one, then I will take the question. I can directly construct the array. Suppose in case it is two dimensional array, how I can construct it? So I need to give the data type. Here we can give that dimension before as well. So that is the one dimension, that is the other dimension, I can give it. Then I can give something called int array equal to, here I can give it. So two dimension, that is called row and that is called column. So I am just printing here. Suppose say in case I want to give the value 1, 2 and 3 and then 4 and 5 and 6. So this row, this is a row and this is another row. So it is row 1 and this is row 2 and this is column 1, this is column 2 and this is column 3. So column will start from 0 to 2 and row will start with 0 and 1. So that is the way I can define. So how can I define the real time in case I want to define my two dimensional array? So I need to give third bracket. It does not matter whether it's a data type, what is the data type you're using. So again third bracket, and here you need to give the row wise. So 1, 2 and 3. This is my row, first row. So my first row is completing. Then you can close and you can give another comma and again you can give another bracket. Then you want to give 4, 5, 6. That means another row. So here and you can close it and then you can give it. So that is the way in a single line you can define this array, two dimensional array. So this is first row, this is your second row, this is your first column 1, 4, this is your 2 and 5 your second column, 3 and 6 will be your third column. Right? In case you want to give something called another 6, 7, sorry 6, sorry 6 already there, 7, 8, 9, row 3, you can keep it also. So here my intention is row will be 2 dimension, means 0 and 1, column will be 3, 0, 1 and 2. Now if you want to access those elements, how can you do it? So you need to give the variable name here, and then you can give the index. So first will be row. Suppose say I want to access this element, right? Fourth element. So what is my row? First row and second row. So row will be 1, 0 and 1. So you need to give here 1. And then this is the first element in the column. So what will be the column? It will be column 0. So now you can access that element. You could see. Now if you want to do some operation, say that 4 I want to multiply with 6. So what you can do, you can just copy it, give star, and then so it will be again 1th row, but your column will be 2, right? Similar way if you want to do it I mean subtraction, multiplication, anything. Now what will happen, that means row 1, that is the row 1, column 0 is 4, and then row 1 means that row variable, and column 2 means 6. So 4 into 6 means 24, it will be displayed. So that way in real time, right, we can deal with the array. So yeah, I will take the questions here. No, because I have removed the main method, na. That main method I have removed it from the firmware. No. It will be, I can define it, but I mean access during accessible I need to use it here only. I can define the array, right? Data type I can define it. Yeah, yeah. So because without main method Java program will not run, na, in case it is Java class. So you can define, right? You can, otherwise some of the time it will throw the error, but you can define it. But within the main method Java program will not run. So in the real time framework, right, we'll be using test-ng. So that is the reason Java class will be, Java main method will not be required in the Selenium, because here we will be working with Selenium with Java. So in case you want to work standalone way, so main Java main method will be always required. Otherwise the main method you will not able to run a single line of code. That is mandatory. But down the line will be taking help from the other Selenium specific framework like test-ng, where Java main method is not required. There are a lot of other features there. With the help of that we will be dealing with the code. But in case it is Java class, so definitely Java main method will be required, otherwise it will throw the error. You are not able to compile it even. Forget about the run. So there are two parts. First one is compile, right? Means you are saving the code, it will throw you the error, all this stuff. So few of the error you will not able to understand during compilation, right? In case some of the error can be caught during saving of the code, it will call compile time error, right? Or sometime only if you running your code, you can only able to caught those error. This is called runtime error. So that will be covered in the exception handling session, guys, in that tomorrow session. How can you handle this thing? Yeah, Sati, any other questions, anyone? Are you able to understand, guys, that concept of the string and that one array? Because in the real time also, right, you need to store it some multi-dimensional thing, and then you need to validate it. That will be that is the thing, whatever will be really required, so that will be covered in the fourth session. Otherwise Java is a huge syllabus. Okay, in case you want to learn it for the development, then it will be different way, right? Because you need to learn the element different way, right? How will be development, I mean identify how you will give the properties, all this stuff. But here will be not be developing the right page, but I want to interact with the page. That is my intention. So already developed, so I can identify the different element. So that part I already showed in the up session, right? How you can go with some of the page, suppose say So if you open any page, right, say Facebook, so you can already able to understand how it is developed, right? Where there's a different HTML tag, different way it develops. If you press the F12 button, automatically you can able to see after inspecting, right? So that is the way you could see. If you highlight it here, this is the whole page. So definitely first will be your body, then layout, and after that all the elements. So it will be uniquely, it will be there, right? It is coming from the div class. So if you go to the parent, you could able to see this is your parent, and this is your child, and this is the attribute, and this is the tag. Input is the tag. So based on the tag itself, right, you can easily understand what the element all about, and based on the type, and that is the way, right, they're defining to uniquely identify, so that anyone can uniquely identify with the help of the ID, name, or other relevant attributes. Sometime in case other attribute is not there, but for our automation script I need to identify the element. So what I will do, I will go with my expert CSS uniquely, right? Then I will work on that way. Okay, then we will go to the loop part because it will take some other time. So here 5 more topics will be there, 3 loops, and how we can control the loop with the help of the continue and the break keyword. So what is loop? So say in case you already seen, right? So I want to iterate it from some number to some number. So definitely it is not possible to manually run all these things. So I'll be iterating through loop, so that it will take the runtime value based on the size you are defining, right? Based on the condition, starting point, ending point, increment, decrement point, all this stuff. So there may be situation when user need to execute a block of code several number of times. In general, statements are executed sequentially. The first statement in a function is executed first, followed by second, and so on. So loop statements are used for repetitive execution. There are 3 types of loops in Java: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So what is for loop? So in case you already know the number of iteration already fixed, then you can go with the for loop. Means suppose you already know that you need to iterate for 10 times, 20 times. You already know at least approximate time. Then you can go with the for loop. While loop and do while loop, in case you do not know the number of iteration, then you can go with that while and do while loop. But for while loop, it will check the condition first. In case condition is not met, loop will be discarded or not executed. But for the do while loop, your loop will be always executed at least one time, though your condition is not matching. After that, you will stop it. So that is the importance of 3 loop. So we'll learn how the for loop actually works. So Java for loop is a control flow statement that iterates a part of the program multiple times. So for loop repeats a block of statement for a specified number of times. If the number of iterations is fixed, it is recommended to use for loop. So how we can define the for loop? So for, then we can define start value, we can end value, and then increment, decrement operator. Then here will come statement. So we'll go with the syntax here. Just try to remember the syntax only. So let's comment it out. For, here you need to define the starting point. Suppose say integer, I want to start I equal to 0. So the data type, then variable, and then starting point. Then you need to give the end point, end value. So I want to reiterate I less equal to 7. Means I want to go from 0 to 7. How I want to go? I plus plus. Every time I will be incremented. Then you need to give that bracket, and then here you can print the current value of the I. So that is the way you can develop the for loop. You could see the value is coming 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if you go in the different way, right, from the starting from the getter value to the lesser value, you can comment it out. So here suppose I want to start with I equal to 10, then I want to go I getter then 0. As and when it is greater than 0 means it will go till 1, and I minus minus means it will be downgraded, right, from the 10 to it will go to, now it will be in the reversing order, 10 to 1. So that is the way you can go in the different way for the for loop. I will be covering this thing once more with the how you can handle this kind of loop with the help of the break and continue keyword, because these are the two keywords available, right, to control this loop execution. Now here in that particular condition, right, if you don't want to go with few of the condition, right, suppose your objective is that you want to go with 10 equal to 10 to 1, but you don't want to go with some certain thing. So suppose here you can give one more if condition. If I not equal to say 6 and I not equal to say 3 4, I don't want to iterate these two part, right. So it will go from 10 to 1, but it will discard these two part, 4 and 6 value it will discard. Okay, you could see 10 9 8 6 is missing because I don't want to include them, because here my condition is that I not equal to 6, I not equal to 4, again 7 and then 5, right. 6 is not there, 4 is not there. So that is the way. In case you don't want to completely continue that one, right, you can give something called if condition like that within the for loop. So that is the way you can deal with the for with the if loop. The next one is while loop. So it will be always executed, not sorry, I mean first the condition will check and then it will be executed. So how can you deal with the while loop? Okay, so you need to initialize, right. Initialize means I will initialize something called I or j, new variable j equal to 20. Then after that I need to give the condition, right, while j less equal to 15, I want to go. Here I need to define the data type, otherwise it will throw the error integer. So loop always you need to deal with the integer only, because your iteration will cannot be decimal or other stuff, right, or string. And then your statement. What is the statement? Like I want to print it out, the value of j and j plus plus, iteration increment or decrement, right, j plus plus. Now so it will work here. So it will be j less equal to, starting with I j plus plus, so I need to keep it. So you could see 15 is not working, means 20 and I plus j plus plus cannot go to 15 at all, because it will be again 21 22 23 24, like that is the reason you could see there is no output. So in case your condition is not matched in the while loop, it will never be executed. But if you give it 25, so it will definitely execute it. So 20 21 22 23 24 5, like that way you could go. Then the next one is do while loop. So Java do while loop is used to iterate the part of the program several times. If the number of iterations is not fixed, and user must have to execute the loop at least once, it is recommended to use the do while loop. So though your condition is not matching, but still it will execute. So because the name itself suggesting do and then while. So do at least once, though your condition is not matching. After that, check the condition and then proceed accordingly. So initialization, same way. Say integer k equal to 5. Then do. Then your statement, right. So I can keep the statement here k. So it will be done at least one time. Then k plus plus. Then here it will be a condition outside it, right. So while k, say less than, oh second, while k less than equal to say 12. Now if you run it, so it will be printing from 5 and it will go till 12, equal to sign, right? 5 to 12. But now it's give the condition as 2, so it will not match, because 5 it will start and it will go beyond 2, right? But still it will be executed at least one time. So that is the beauty. In case sometime you need to validate that, at least though your condition is not matching, but still you want to execute it, right? So maybe we can at least use that one. The next one is statement. There are two statements available or keyword available called break and continue, through which you can control the loop, right? So there is two keyword, break and continue. So break not only in the loop but in the switch statement. Tomorrow you will be learning it. Also control the switch statement break, right? And continue all use can be in the three loop. So loop control statement change execution from its normal sequence. When execution leaves a scope, all automatic objects that were created in that scope are destroyed. Java support break and continue control statement. So what is the importance of the break? Suppose say you want to iterate to a loop, right, from I equal to 1 to 10. But in case your condition is matching, then you want to stop immediately, right? Then you can use break. As soon as condition is matching, you would be stopping it. Suppose say I'm giving real time example. Suppose say you want to go to a complex, you need to find a person. So what you will do, you do not know the block name, you just know their only the person name. So suppose say only one block is there, there are 20 flat. So what you will do with the for loop, right? You will start from the flat 1 and it will go till 20. So that is your concept of for loop, right? Through which you can reiterate all the flat and then you can identify the person X. Okay, but say in the flat number 5 you already found the person X, that is your motto, right? Then what will happen, you will be stopping your loop, because your intention, your objective is to find the person X, and which you already find at the flat number 5, you already meet with him, you already discuss your proposal, all this stuff. Then you don't want to go to the other remaining flat 6 to 20, because you want to save the time and you don't want, your interest is not, once your interest is met, you don't want to stop the loop. So you can break it. So Java break is used to break loop or switch statement. It breaks the current flow of the program and specified condition. So say I'll be creating a for loop again. That is not required for now. Okay, that is the loop. If you run it, you could see it is printing 10 to 20, right? But you want to quit the loop as soon as your condition is matching. So how can you do it? Okay, so here I'll be giving some condition. If I equal to say 15, right, then I want to break the loop. I don't want to reiterate the other remaining part. So that is the way you can use the break. So it will print only 10 to 14. As and when it is matching with 15, it is immediately terminating the loop, right? So that is the way you can find the person and don't want to go to the other remaining one. Then there is another keyword available to control the loop, which is called continue keyword. So continue keyword can be used in any of the loop control structure. It causes the loop to immediately jump to the next iteration of the loop. The purpose of writing a continue statement in Java code is to skip the current iteration of a loop, say for while and do while as well. So it will only skip that part and go to the other one also. So suppose say you are already staying in a flat a complex, you are having 20 flat, right? But with 19 people you are having good repo, but with one person you are not having the repo. So you want to skip that person home flat, right? But remaining 19 flat you want to go. So what will go? Suppose say that person flat is 10th flat. So you will go 1 to 9. As and when 10th is coming and you know this person is there, you will not visit his home. You will again starting from the 11 to 20. That is the way you can skip a particular condition. So here you can use continue. So what will happen? So as and when I equal to 15 equal to match, so that particular step will be skipped, but remaining step will be executed. You could see 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 as and when is coming, it is just skipping that step. And remaining thing again it is starting it 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that is the way in real time also we need to deal with this keyword, right? So you already see couple of stuff, right? Whenever you want to read the data for those links, right? In the second video, you already see the loop, especially for the break one also. So continue sometime we can use specific to the situation in case we are having it. But these are the really two important keyword available to deal with the continue. Okay. So I'll reiterate once more time, then I'll be taking for any questions here. Okay. So in Java is case sensitive, like there are some sort of method available, right? I mean syntax available. Okay, it will start with the from the main method program will start, right? Every statement will end with the semicolon, right? Code block will enclosed with double bracket. Then there is a main method, so main public static void main. So public is the access modifier, static is non-access modifier, void is the return type, main is the method name, and system is the predefined class. Out is a instance of print stream type, println is the method name, and then is the message. So comment can be used like in the real time as well, single line, multiple lines possible. There are two type, primarily primitive, non-primitive data type available. So data type is nothing but the classification of the data, right? Type of the data that a variable or object can hold in the programming. So variable is the container which will hold the value, so that value like that any program can take. Three type of variable: local, instance, and class variable. There are different operator like arithmetic, relational, assignment, and logical operator you can deal with. So object is an element of an application representing a class, right? So entity which will having the state and behavior is known as an object, but it's a class is nothing physically exists, it's just logically exists. So class is a group of object which has the common properties. So string is nothing but the alphanumeric character we will consider as a string. So there are a lot of important methods available in the string class. You can just check the different properties for multiple string. You can convert one string to other way, right? An array is a collection of similar type of element which is having the contiguous memory allocation. We can have single dimensional array, multi-dimensional array as well. There are, in case you want to iterate the number of iterations, so you can deal with three loops. So for loop is nothing but the fixed iteration you already know. Do while loop, and while loop is for the volatile or the dynamic iteration. So while loop will based on the condition, right, you will try to execute in case condition is not matching, it will not be executed. But do while loop will always be executed at least one times though your condition is not matching. And there are two primary keyword is there like break and continue, through which we can control the loop statement. Okay, so that's all from today's session. Thank you.